For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzah here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Unearthed Films Blu-ray release for H.P. Lovecraft's The Unnameable from 1988. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And The Unnameable takes me all the way back to the video store era, because the VHS release for this film, it had its artwork just leapt off the video store shelves at me. It just reached out and grabbed me. There was something about the creature from The Unnameable. Just the look of her. I don't know. It just intrigued me. And when I finally rented The Unnameable and I watched it, it was a very unique watch, because at that time I was very accustomed to Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. I was accustomed to that kind of movie with a male baddie. In this case, it's really not a slasher movie, although it kind of has some slasher elements. It's really more of a creature feature, and the baddie is a female, a very cool-looking female creature, half human, half goat, demon-looking creature. And I really enjoyed The Unnameable as a kid. I would rent it on a fairly regular basis when I kind of wanted to try something different. So I've always had very fond memories of The Unnameable. And again, it brings me back to that video store era, that bygone video store era that, you know, I get very sentimental about. But The Unnameable up to this point, it never made the leap, at least in the US, from VHS to DVD or Blu-ray up into this point, at least that I'm aware of. So that's why I really jumped at the opportunity to check out this Blu-ray release from Unearthed Films for The Unnameable. And having watched the movie, having just finished watching the movie as a matter of fact, it doesn't quite live up to my memories of it as a kid. It's a little rough around the edges. It's got a few issues, but it's still a really entertaining and fun, very 80s creature feature. And again, a unique creature feature in that it featured a female creature. It's a creature feature that featured a female creature. So I think that part is still unique. And one thing that I think definitely holds up about this film is the look of the creature. She looks absolutely fantastic. Like I said, part human, part goat. She's got horns. She's got like little wings. She's got big claws. She looks really cool. So the makeup effects and the prosthetics and the costuming for the Unnameable creature definitely holds up. The premise is very, very simple. You've got a group of people inside this old rundown house, and the creature is on the loose, picking them all off one by one. The acting is okay. The pacing is okay. You can tell that they definitely did not have very much of a budget making this movie. That's pretty obvious from the get-go. But where they needed to spend money on this movie, they certainly got their money's worth, and that's out of the creature. She looks fantastic in this movie. You've got some nice practical makeup effects in the film as well. You've got a really nice torn throat gag. The creature, she scratches, shreds, twists, pulls, does all manner of horrible things to the characters in this film. Speaking of the characters, they are for the most part pretty likable. The acting is okay. The pacing is okay. But where this movie really shines is in the makeup effects. Predominantly that for the unnameable creature. And again, there are some nice practical makeup effects in the film as well. No, the movie does not live up to my memories of it as a little kid, but it's still a fun movie, and I had a great time revisiting it thanks to this Unearthed Films Blu-ray release. This release features a newly restored 4K transfer with DTS HD surround sound. Now, as far as the transfer is concerned, the movie looks great. I thought the movie looked absolutely fantastic. I would give it a 4 out of 5 as far as the picture quality is concerned. The DTS HD surround sound, however, at about the 15-minute mark of the film, all of the sound effects on the film started to double. Like, for instance, a character blows out a candle, and he blows the candle out. He goes, whew, and then immediately you hear that again. Or he lights a candle with a cigarette lighter, so ka-ch, ka-ch. Even footsteps, they have this sort of echoing effect on the soundtrack. Everything begins to echo. There's double everything when it comes to the sound effects, not the dialogue, but the sound effects. Now, if you switch the audio from the surround sound to just the regular stereo audio, that takes care of that problem. However, if you do choose to pick up this release, the surround sound, it's bugged. There's an issue with it. Just switch the audio to the stereo setting and you'll have remedied that issue. As far as the presentation for this release, we've got a really nice slipcase here with some awesome newly commissioned artwork there. Really nice artwork for this film on the slipcase. On the sleeve here, inside of the slipcase, you've got the old school VHS artwork. I'm guessing it's just the original poster art for the release of the film. This was also the VHS artwork that, again, just jumped off of the video store shelves and grabbed me back in the day. As far as extras are concerned, all of the interviews here were conducted by JK from Horror Happens Radio. They appear to have been conducted via Skype, so keep that in mind. Our first interviews are with actors Charles Klossmeyer and Mark Kinsey Stevenson. It's 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 33 seconds in length. They discuss the Unearthed Films Blu-ray release for The Unnameable. They discuss the film's cult status, how they each got cast in the film, reading the short story from H.P. Lovecraft that the film is based on. They discuss the short shooting schedule, the grueling hours. They discuss the sequel, which they both appeared in. Mr. Klossmeyer and Stevenson also discuss how they became fast friends and eventually writing partners. Very nice interview with Mr. Klossmeyer and Mr. Stevenson. Next up, we have an interview with actor Eben Ham. It's 30 minutes and 55 seconds in length. Mr. Ham discusses getting cast in The Unnameable, the short shooting schedule, the shooting locations, the stunts in the film, the makeup effects, and more. Next up, we get an interview with Laura Albert. It's 46 minutes and 16 seconds in length. Ms. Albert discusses growing up a horror fan and how excited she was to be cast in a horror film, and how fun the shoot was. She discusses working with the cast and the director, the sets, the love scene. She discusses how she became a stunt woman and how extensive her career now as a stunt woman is. She's done stunts in over 100 films. She has over 100 credits as a stunt woman, which was very interesting. Very nice interview with Miss Albert. Next up, we have an interview with Mark Pera. It's 33 minutes and 36 seconds in length. Mr. Pera discusses getting cast in The Unnameable, working with the other cast members and the director. He discusses how they filmed his character's death scene. He discusses his career beyond The Unnameable as an actor, stuntman, and fight coordinator. The audio during this interview is pretty rough, however, a little bit distracting again because it was conducted via Skype, or at least what appeared to be Skype. Next up, we have an interview with R. Christopher Biggs and special effects artist and makeup artist Camille Calvert. It's 1 hour and 3 seconds in length. They discuss the design and the work that went into creating and maintaining the prosthetics for the creature in the film. Ms. Calvert says that she actually had to wax the actress's entire body who played the creature and help her when she needed to go to the bathroom while she was in all of the costume, the prosthetics, the makeup, etc., etc. So they became very close. during the shoot. They discuss how the director wanted the creature to be both sexy and terrifying. They discuss the different makeup effects in the film and how they were pulled off, and much more. Very nice interview with Ms. Calvett and Mr. Biggs. We get a photo gallery, we get trailers, and we get an audio commentary with Charles Klossmeyer, Mark Stevenson, Laura Albert, Eben Ham, Camille Calvert, and R. Christopher Biggs. The audio quality on this commentary was not the best, and because there's so many people here, there's a lot of moments during the commentary where they're kind of talking over each other, which makes it very difficult to hear what they're saying. So the audio quality on this commentary, and the fact that they do kind of talk over each other quite a lot. The commentary's a little messy. I kind of bounced around checking different sections of the film, and it seemed to be that way kind of throughout. So not the best audio quality for this audio commentary. This is a pretty nice Blu-ray release for The Unnameable from Unearthed Films, with a couple of caveats. Again, the surround sound, which is the default sound setting for this release, you will need to change that to just the regular stereo setting so that there's no echoing or anything to that effect when it comes to the audio. The picture quality is really good. You've got some nice extras on here as well, and the presentation is really cool. If you've not seen The Unnameable, I definitely recommend it. This Blu-ray would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of The Unnameable, definitely look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. I'll put a link to Unearthed Films' website down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen The Unnameable, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a month club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons: Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, Chris Earls, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Cliff Hostetter, Kyle McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Lauren Dixon, and Travis Davis.